Previously on YSL. Now, we all know by now the circus of the YSL case was at a pause because of Judge Glanville being asked to step down from the case. He was asked to step down by everyone's lawyer on the case because he held a secret meeting with the prosecution and the biggest rat in Georgia, Lil Woody. Now, Lil Woody would keep saying he wants to plead the fifth while having immunity when he took the stand. And I guess just because your head big, it don't make you smart. Because you cannot do that, Lil Woody. Now, this secret meeting didn't include any of the defense attorneys, and Brian Steele would be sure to call the judge out on his bullshit. In return, the judge ordered Mr. Steele to a jail cell with his client, Young Thug, for multiple weekends in a row because he kept it solid and he didn't give the judge the source to the secret meeting he wasn't supposed to know about. Now, an appeals court would overturn that ruling, and after that, any motion filed was arrogantly denied by Judge Glanville. He wouldn't even let the motions be looked at by anyone else. Last week, Judge Glanville must have got checked by someone because he realized that he messed up and admitted there may be some error to his ways. The case was paused so another judge could review the motions, and she came to the conclusion that the problem wasn't the meeting. The actual issue was the arrogance and the biased attitude that the judge had while handling the motions.
Welcome back to Law and Crime. This just in, for Young Thug racketeering case, we have got a decision by a judge outside of that of Judge Glanville that he is now recused. I have literally just gone over the motion now, and I'm going to go over it with you myself bit by bit. Starting first with the finding of facts. We all know what the facts were. There was an ex parte, meaning one of the parties, that being all of the defense attorneys, were not present for this meeting with Kenneth Copeland. Judge Glanville, along with the prosecution and Kenneth Copeland's attorney, had this in-chambers meeting talking about him pleading the fifth for about let's say 4 pages. So about four or so pages, just the facts as we remember them. This meeting happened. Glanville went back and forth deciding, is this person going to testify? You cannot plead the fifth. The prosecution, as we saw the transcripts that were later released, kept pressing, you've got immunity. You cannot be prosecuted for this in any way, shape, or form, and that means you have to testify. Ultimately, that meeting was not expressed in detail to the defense until Brian Steele, the defense attorney for Young Thug, raised this issue. Following that, multiple defense attorneys filed motions for recusal. Filed, good. But the reason why Judge Glanville himself said that he's denying the recusal is because he argued that the facts alleged did not warrant a recusal, that they did not meet that threshold. But it's worth noting, and I'm just quoting here, that this court agrees generally with Judge Glanville's assessment of the proprietary of the meeting, that ex parte meeting, saying, okay, that's okay to happen. While the meeting could have and perhaps should have taken place in open court, kind of giving that option there, nothing about the fact of this meeting or substance discussed was inherently improper. However, and this is the big however, in his order denying defendant Kendrick's motion and in the process of making a record on July 1st, Judge Glanville added facts, provided context, questioned the veracity of the allegations, and otherwise explained his decisions and actions and argued why those actions were proper. Just going to keep going through here. While, and I'm quoting here, may be appropriate for judges to disclose information relevant to his potential recusal, such a disclosure must be made in a way that is objective, dispassionate, and non-argumentative as possible, so that the judge is not reasonably perceived as a hostile witness or advocate. As we saw in Judge Glanville's recitation of why he was not recusing himself, he was, let's just say he was definitely a little hostile. In presenting this record as to the recusal issues and in ruling on Kendrick's motions, Judge Glanville, quote, evaluated and accepted the truth of his own factual allegations mandating his recusal. What that basically means in English, he played both witness, judge, and jury in deciding the veracity and the truthfulness of his own allegations. A judge cannot do that. That's what the Honorable Judge Rachel Krause, who was given this case to decide the recusal, ultimately decides.
I smell dead RICO charges. Judge Glanville has officially been removed from the YSL case. He will no longer be the judge. Couple of things immediately come to mind. Can this trial continue? The jury is going to have to get released if you're going to have to go start from scratch with a new judge and a new trial. I don't see how a judge takes over midway. They can't possibly get up to speed. You have to start from scratch, right? And if you start from scratch, how long is that going to take? First off, some judge is going to have to become fully familiar with all of the evidentiary rulings. Then you're going to have, a new jury get picked, and then you're going to start you're going to have the trial last into 2030? I smell dead RICO charges. I also feel very bad for this judge because the world saw him do just really dumb stuff, and now there's no recovering from that. I mean, the only thing that will come out of this, his legacy, his reputation, will be that a judge took it upon himself to violate basic fundamental tenets of how to run a criminal case because he didn't like the defendants. That's going to be the storyline attached to what we saw unfold in Judge Glanville's courtroom after what was probably an otherwise remarkable career, military veteran, all that. But he got caught in the mix, and this is yikes.
I mean, I knew this judge wasn't shit when he brought his dog to court. And when I say dog, I'm not talking about his homeboy.
It's my dog. It's my dog.
I mean, let's be for real. Anybody who needs an emotional support dog should not be in charge of somebody else's life, let alone multiple people's lives, let alone be a judge, period. Unfortunately for him, this isn't a good look, not good for his reputation, but it may be a great look for Young Thug. Let's talk about it. What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy, YSL.
It's him.
What up, YouTube? It's the Top G, and if you're not subscribed to the LaFlare Lounge, then you better tap in now.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button right now. Keep me in the algorithm. Now, let's talk about it, man. I ain't no legal system expertise master. But what I will say is, it looks like Judge Glanville is off this case for good. Well, he is. And anybody that watched 5 minutes of that case knew that bruh was just being unreasonable a lot of the time. He would let his pride and ego get in the way of others. And that's scary when you have somebody who literally seals your fate. You don't want that type of judge on the stand because he can't see past his bias. Now, he may think in his head when he gets home, that man is a convicted killer, and he and Young Thug led a team of gangsters to do his dirty work. He could very well think that. But it seems like he couldn't process things in an unbiased manner as a professional, as a judge. And that's where we had issues. The crazy part was y'all seeing it. He wasn't even out of pocket for doing the meeting. It's the way he handled it. I mean, I was looking at this and I'm like, damn, he just be like dismissing motions that are being filed against him. Like, shouldn't somebody else be looking at those, trying to see like, hey, is there a little bit of foul play? Is he wrong? Is he in his own way? Is he in the way of the trial when people are putting motions up against him? He was saying like, no, I'm not even gonna let anybody else look at it. And like you saw in the clip, the dude said, hey, this man was trying to be the witness. He was trying to be the judge and the jury. That's not how it works over here in America. Yeah, America. So yeah, in all honesty, I think that it was well deserved. Now, the next question we all trying to figure out is, what do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. What do y'all think is next for Young Thug, right? They've already appointed another judge, so I'm assuming that they're still trying to continue this case. I don't know, man. I feel like at this point, whether we think Young Thug is guilty or not, I think that this case has been a shit show. I don't see why there's really a need to continue it because it's been nothing but 6-7 months of just chaos, nothing making sense. I mean, at one point there was prawn playing on the screens. They done showed the jury, people identifying members of the jury. We got Judge Glanville bringing his dog to work. It's just a shit show. And I think that I even seen somebody, I gotta find it, I seen somebody talk about that this is like double jeopardy. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but what I will say is I just think that this case, I think Fonnie Willis got too much dip on a chip. The judge didn't help the situation, and now what, you're gonna bring in a judge halfway through a case and expect them to be caught up to speed. Expect them to know everything that's going on. I thought we needed a fair trial around here. This is not fair to anybody, not even the jurors. These jurors have already been out of work, haven't been to work for months. But all of a sudden, they might have to redo the trial. Even with that, they got to take pauses. Can they go to work? It's too much going on. It's not enough sense being made. I feel like it's no progress being made at this point. But on the other hand, maybe the judge will at least give Young Thug some bail. I'm pretty sure there will be a motion for bail because they got a new judge. And if the old judge was obviously biased, didn't like them, you know, he's sending the lawyers to jail and things of that nature, maybe the judge might be like, you know what, let's go ahead and give him bail so he can continue to work, be with his kids, have better health, better food choices, and let's just do that while we try to figure this thing out. Young Thug should be able to go home and sleep in a real bed. He should be able to go home and sleep in a real bed at this point. I mean, this is already being projected to be the longest trial in Georgia history, and it potentially could be starting over. I think it should just, to be honest, I think that Fonnie Willis should have just charged everybody individually. This RICO shit that she's doing is something that she's doing to progress her own career. She's trying to progress for clout. She's crooked. We already saw the Trump trial, how she basically is paying people under the table, things of that nature. So I just don't think it's in her best interest to continue this. They saying that she was even attached possibly to Donovan Nut Thomas. I mean, shit, she fucking her own employee, so why wouldn't she? You know what I mean? At this point, why wouldn't she be? What benefit of the doubt has she given us? So I think that this whole case is done. It's only a matter of time. And they're gonna throw a parade on Cleveland Avenue when Young Thug gets out. You know, I just know that's what's gonna happen. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think that Thug should get bail? Should they throw the trial away? Should they just continue and pick up where they left off? Please let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and we out, baby. Boom.
You are now tuned in to the LaFlare Lounge with your host, Big Just LaFlare.
You are watching a master at work.